Hi YouTube, it's Kathy and I'm here to announce the 8th round of the Queer Lit Readathon. Yes, this is the 4th year of this readathon. We do 2 major rounds a year and then 2 mini rounds as well. And this round will be taking place from December 5th through 11th. If you've never been around for a Queer Lit Readathon before, it's pretty self-explanatory. We want you to read queer books that week. But wait, why are you hosting this in December? Isn't Queer Month in June? Yeah, but you should read queer all year and this is just a reminder of that. I should also mention that you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram, both at queer_lit, and the official hashtag for the readathon is #QueerLitRead. The readathon officially starts at midnight on December 5th in your own time zone, and then concludes at the end of that week. If you've been around for a while, you know that I co-created this readathon with my friend Rogan, who is also a co-host of the readathon, but every round we also like to get a special guest host. This is somebody who comes in, helps us pick out what the prompts are going to be, helps us do hosting type duties throughout the week, and also helps us give you recommendations leading up to the readathon. I'm very happy to say that our special guest host this time around is Alex from Paperbacks and Pucks. I have been following Alex's channel for ages. He does incredibly fun and interactive content where he gets different people to pick what he's reading or controls his weekend. It's just so much fun to watch his channel. I absolutely adore him, which is why I'm really happy that he was able to join us. Also, if you know his channel, you might be able to pick out what some of his prompt suggestions were for the bingo board this time around. Speaking of the bingo board, here it is. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm going to go through all the prompts in just a second. However, I did want to point out for anybody who is new that you do not have to follow the bingo board. It's there for people that enjoy doing prompts. You can also use it however you like. You can try to do a square, you can try to do a line, you can try to black out the bingo board, and you can use books for multiple prompts. Or you can ignore it altogether and just read queer books. But let's go through the prompts. It goes without saying that all of the books that you read for these prompts must be queer. That's the whole point of the readathon, but then here are some extra challenges on top of that. The first challenge is blank punk. So any type of punk, so steampunk, cyberpunk, any type of punk, and I'm helpfully going to put a link down below to the history of different punk genres and kind of the categorizations. I haven't read a ton of novels in the punk subgenres, so this is an interesting one for me particularly to get into. Our next prompt is the group read. We pick one for every round. You do not have to read it, especially if you've read it before or you can't get your hands on it. However, we try to pick something that's been out for a little while and should be something that people should be able to request from their library and that type of thing. This time around, we have chosen Where We Go From Here by Lucas Rocha. This is a book translated from the Portuguese. It's by a Brazilian author, and I'm going to read you the blurb. The first step forward is always the hardest. When Ian tests positive for HIV, he doesn't know what to do. All he knows for certain is that his life is about to change forever. That's when he meets Victor, whose test has come back negative. Victor was dating Henrique. Henrique has been living with HIV for 3 years. Even though he's undetectable, meaning he can't transmit the virus to anyone, Victor feels betrayed that he wasn't told sooner. Still, Victor is compelled to introduce Ian and Henrique, hoping that maybe Henrique can help Ian navigate these new waters. Their lives will come together in a powerful story of love, friendship, and self-acceptance. In this absorbing novel, Brazilian author Lucas Rocha unveils the common misconceptions and prejudices that still surround HIV in the 21st century, showing how far we've come while shining a light on how far we have yet to go. I've heard nothing but great things for this book, and it's actually been on my TBR for a very long time, so I was happy to finally actually pick myself up a copy, and it arrived just before I started filming this video, which was perfect timing, really. Our next prompt is a translated book, and this was a prompt that we had even before we picked a translated book as our group read, so you could use that book as your translated book or read a different one. Next, a staple on our bingo board is choose your own category. Figure out what category you want to fulfill and tell us about it in your TBR. Next, we have seasonal vibes. We specifically didn't pick a particular season because we want to be mindful that not everybody is experiencing the same season. So we're just looking for you to pick a book that has strong seasonal vibes and whichever season you want to choose. Next, we want you to read a trans debut, so a debut novel by a trans author. We'd also like for you to pick up a novella, which is always nice to have on a long TBR. Next, we have one of my favorite types of reads, which is queer sports. Our next prompt is rainbow cover. You can interpret this any way you want. If it has a rainbow on the cover, if it has the colors of the rainbow but not necessarily in that order on the cover, if its main color is one of the main colors of the rainbow, you can interpret this however you like. Next we have something borrowed, so from a library or a friend or a family member, as long as you've borrowed it, it counts. Our next prompt is queer joy. We just want you to read at least one queer book that doesn't have deep, dark, depressing undertones. Our genre prompt for this time around is fantasy. We would also love you to pick up a queer middle grade book. We'd also like you to pick up a book that you've seen recommended by one of the hosts. That could be from any of the posts that we've done on Instagram or Twitter. It can also be from any of the hosts' channels. My other co-host will be linked down below, as well as my A to Z of Queer Lit playlist, which at this point I believe has 9 videos on it, so over 200 recommendations, and I'm actually well due to do my 10th on that list, so that will probably come out between now and the readathon. Our penultimate prompt is 40% plus BIPOC authors. This means that when you have your entire TBR created, we want at least 40% of it to be by BIPOC authors. If you're unfamiliar with that acronym, that's Black, Indigenous, Person of Color. And finally, beyond LGBT. For this prompt, we want you to read something that is QIAP2+. So as long as it's got a different representation than just the first 4 letters of our lovely, humongous acronym. If you are unfamiliar with this set of letters, because obviously the first 4 are the ones that you hear most often, Q is for queer or questioning, I is for intersex, A is for ace or arrow, not for ally, P is for pansexual, 2 is for two-spirit, and plus is for the other letters that just didn't make it on there. There are many different identity umbrellas in the world, and I suggest that you do some research of your own. The bingo board will be on our Twitter and our Instagram, so you can grab it from there if you do like to do the crossing out type of thing. I always find having a visual reference is kind of nice. And as I said, between now and the readathon, we will be posting recommendations for these prompts on both of those accounts. The host will also be putting up our personal TBRs on November 24th, so make sure that you're subscribed so you see those when they come up. If you're going to make TBR videos, vlogs, or wrap-ups for this challenge, we do ask that you caption your videos. Captioning is very important for a whole host of people, be they deaf or hard of hearing, be they ESL, be they people that have auditory processing difficulties. A lot of people rely on captions, including my co-host Rogan, so if you are putting out a video, please keep that in mind. The way that I do the captions on all of my videos is I upload them, I schedule them, I leave them alone for a while, and then they actually auto-generate captions. This is something you have to set up in your account, but once you have, it will always auto-generate your captions as long as it's not broken at that moment, because it does have some glitches every once in a while. Then I'll actually take that, put it into a Word doc, and I will actually find and replace to capitalize all of my I's and change certain words that I know it always spells the American way instead of the Canadian way. And then from there it's really easy to capitalize all of that type of thing, paste it back in, and then it will actually sync the timing of your words to the video for you. Trust me, captioning your videos used to be a much longer process when I started doing YouTube, and it's gotten better. It can still improve, but it has definitely gotten better. All of the relevant information, including an FAQ, will be found on Rogan's website, which will be linked down below. We're also on Goodreads, which will be linked down below, and we will have an official challenge on Storygraph, which will be linked down below. There we are. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below, and you can also check out my co-hosts' videos in case they remembered something that I didn't. What are you excited to read this round? Let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. If you don't feel like leaving a comment but want to make sure that I know you are here, just leave me an emoji or a smiley face if you happen to be on your keyboard. Some people have asked if there's a way to financially support this channel, so I set up a Ko-fi account, which is a digital tipping service. The link for that is down below, as well as the link to my PayPal and my Amazon wishlist in case you would like to buy me a book. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!